Okay, the video is rolling, and I will do my usual chatter to my producer, Leslie Griffin. Hot mic. Rivers on the Colts. Holy cow, 44. We'll see what happens. Wet now, but what's next? Paul Poteet weather. Bottom of hour, Chuck Reynolds is in studio, not tromboning today. Maybe he will. And the Lieutenant Governor booked as a guest in just a moment. Hi, hello, and good morning. It is December the 10th. And we are live from our video audio multipurpose studio again on the campus of WMUN and Wolf Boom Radio on the south side of Muncie, Indiana. Good morning, Missouri. I say it right for my friends. I have Chicagoland in California, Pilot Hill, and is it Livermore? I've had Germany and Finland clicking on already this morning. And I just saw Portland, Oregon. There's my sister Sherry, and my screen is blocked on Minnesota. I'll get that window that is open on top of another window closed in just a moment. Let's get to the weather first and foremost. Mr. Paul Poteet. And again, for those that are replaying the video, Paul Poteet, our meteorologist, hourly updates. He's on right now. And I am now connecting to the Lieutenant Governor. I can see Micah Beckwith. You're not on the radio yet, Lieutenant Governor, but you will be momentarily. Next time I talk to you, we'll be on the air. Just nod if you hear me. Okay, good. My camera's over here, but my video screen's over here. Leslie, hot mic. And thank you much, Paul Poteet on WMUN. News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, and State House Talk. Let's get right to it. The Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Indiana, Micah Beckwith, joins us now in our Zoom room for the first time. How are the accommodations in there, sir? You look comfortable.
Hey, thank you. You guys are doing a great job. You've made my Zoom room very comfortable, so thank you.
Thank you very much for doing this. The audio quality is far superior for our listeners, and also we have the visual connection too, so you and I can see each other. Those watching on the video stream later, you can also see what's going on with myself inside of our studio here on the south side of Muncie and the Lieutenant Governor there. All right, let's start with the obvious subject that is on everybody's mind, redistricting. Today is Wednesday, December 10th. So in the House last week, passing that legislation, the Senate is dealing with it now. There was public comments. I think it lasted over a couple of days, if I'm correct, because people wanted to talk a little more about it. You'll be able to clarify that in a minute. What I'm curious to know is what's next in the discussions and the vote that is coming in the Senate on redistricting in Indiana, Mr. Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah, well, so we got the House bill, and it was heard in committee hearings on Monday. There was multiple hours of testimony, both for and against redistricting, but then it got voted out of committee Monday night, and then yesterday we had our committee reports in the Senate. Today we start second reading, so second reading is when the senators can get up and now start talking about it, and they can add amendments, and so that'll probably go a little while. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we will have a up or down vote on third reading, which is here's the bill in its fullness, yay or nay. You like it, you don't like it. And then if it stays the same as the House bill, then it'll go to the governor's desk and the governor can sign it. If it doesn't stay the same, then it has to go back to the House, and they have to basically say, hey, do we want this to this is what was changed. Do we like it? And if they still can't come up to a resolution, then they'll go to what we call a conference committee, and there'll be 4 people from the House and the Senate that will get together and try to hammer out the details. So the bills are the same. That's the House and the Senate bills have to be the same before they go to the governor's desk. And so anyway, that's where we're at. So we'll see. I mean, I'm optimistic that it'll pass. Doesn't mean that it's a shoe-in. I think there's certainly a lot of dissension on redistricting, but there's also a lot of support for it too. So.
And you're supportive of it. You've made that very clear in our conversations and in various sorts of interviews and so forth. What do you have to say, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, to all those that are not in favor of it? What would you say to them that you might try to change their mind or might try to make them think of this issue in a different sort of a way?
Well, what I would say to them is, anytime we play a game, whether it's soccer, football, baseball, you hope that both sides play by the same rules. And it's very hard to play the game fairly and even have fun or actually play the game the way it was designed if there's multiple sets of rules being applied to different teams. And so what's happening is the same thing in redistricting. For years, Illinois, California, Massachusetts, they've been playing by their own set of rules. Indiana has been playing by a higher standard, a set of rules that we've applied to ourselves that said, hey, we do want to make sure that we're doing this as best as possible to keep gerrymandering to a minimum. We want to make sure that, we're a 60-40 state, so we should have some Democrat representation. That's great. And actually, in a perfect world, I would support that all day long. The problem is Illinois is not playing by those rules. California is not playing by those rules. They're doing everything they can to extinguish every Republican seat in their state, which then hurts Indiana. So that hurts our voice as a conservative state in Washington. So until we can get Illinois to play by a fair set of rules, then we have no choice but to play by the rules that they themselves have created. So that's what we're doing. We're saying, okay, we don't have a choice. We got to play by Illinois' rules now. We got to play by California's rules. Now, I think ultimately the beauty and the silver lining in all of this is that the Supreme Court will have to step in. If conservative states like Indiana just went quietly into the night, we would never see the Supreme Court step in and actually fix this. And they need to fix this. They need to be the referee, and they need to say every state has to play by these rules. That's it. You all play by the same rules, and that's all we're asking for, is just make sure that the rules are being fairly applied to Massachusetts as they are to Indiana and to Illinois and the like.
We're on WMUN. This is Delaware County Today, daily talk show here in Muncie, Indiana, USA. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith is my guest, and you have your first encounter right now with our brand new video audio studio. I'm learning the buttons and everything. For instance, I'm switching the 4-camera system so that you're on screen when you're talking. There's an automatic button here too, but it's far too complicated for me, Mr. Lieutenant Governor. Maybe we could have you here as a guest sometime in the studio, and you could give me some technological support. Where are you sitting right now? Because AI can create a background. Or is that real, legitimate behind you?
This is all real. This is my church office. So this is my church office. You got guitars hanging on the wall. There's a piano right back there. That literally is a real piano. I did not AI that in or anything like that. So. But yes, this is my church office. I do a lot of my Zoom meetings. I'm getting ready to go down to the State House, but I just stopped in here on the way down and jumped on with you all.
A next item for Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. There's a move to change the way the Lieutenant Governor is selected in Indiana. I guess that's being bandied about at the State House. Explain how it works right now briefly and what is being proposed and maybe what your position is on the way you think it should be.
Yeah, so what it is right now is that the delegates are elected by you all in places like Delaware County or beyond. In Indiana, every county has a certain amount of delegates that get elected by the Republican base. And then they go down to the State House and they get to nominate the Lieutenant Governor, the Attorney General, Secretary of State, Comptroller, and Treasurer. Those are the 5 statewides is what we call them. And so the move, because of what I've done, there's a lot of people in the establishment, the rhino class, the ruling class elite, the multimillionaires that don't like it when the little guys have an actual voice at the table. They're trying to remove the lieutenant governor from the delegates being able to pick. Now, they already did this a few years ago with the superintendent of public instruction. We used to elect the superintendent of public instruction. Well, there was a gal that got elected and she wasn't very good, and the Republicans changed the rules midstream. I was against that, even though she wasn't a very good, in my opinion, a superintendent of education. I was against taking that away from the delegates. And so here they are again. Hey, we don't like that Micah got elected. We don't like how he did this. He beat us at our own game. So now we got to change the rules so he can't beat us and the grassroots can't beat us at our own game anymore. And so that's what's going on here. And so I've talked to the governor about it, and I think the governor's against it. His office, has said they're against this. Because Governor Braun's a grassroots guy, and even though I wasn't his pick, he liked that I was running. He told me early on. He said, "Hey, I'm glad you're running for lieutenant governor because I'm a competition guy. I think the delegates and the grassroots should have a voice." And so it just worked out this way. And him and I have had a great relationship ever since. And so I think the way it works is really good. And we need to protect that, because if we lose that, then you're taking away the grassroots voice, just one more chip away at their voice. Pretty soon, the goal, I'll tell you the goal. The goal is to get rid of the convention from these people. They don't like the convention at all because they keep getting their butts kicked at the convention. And so they want to get rid of it, make all of the statewides have to run for a statewide primary, which would cost $2 to $3 million for anyone to run. That means the little guy will never be able to run for this office. That means someone like me would not be able to win because I'm not independently wealthy like some of the ruling class elite from Indianapolis are.
WMUN's Delaware County today. I'm Steve Lindell interviewing Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. One of the other stories that's making some news is regarding Nathan Peternell. Am I saying that right? I believe
that's right.
Somebody that you've had a podcast with over some time. And his son has had some legal trouble. I just wondered if you could touch on that subject, that podcast, whether or not there's any comment you have about that particular situation.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We're being really open about that. Nathan's a good friend of mine. He's a fellow pastor. We have a podcast together. And his son was doing some really terrible things, and he's in jail, and he's gonna justice is gonna be served, and I've been really proud of Nathan. Nathan loves his son, but he hasn't bailed him out. He hasn't gone to bat for him as far as saying, hey, limit the consequences. He's like, my son, his son's an adult. His son's 24 years old. He was kind of a wayward kid for many years. He was into things he shouldn't be into for many years. He's kind of one of those prodigal son stories. And I pray for Jonathan that he would find the Lord, and that the Lord would really get a hold of his heart, in jail. But I think these are the stories of a broken world. I mean, I know as a pastor and as just being a person, we all have family, friends, people that have loved ones that have done really terrible things and have to pay the consequences for that. And so then the question is, how do you walk through that? And so we I've come around Nathan. People have said, hey, you need to distance yourself from him. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, he needs people around him that love him now more than ever. And so it's been one of the hardest seasons of his life that he's had to walk through. But as a friend, I love Nathan. His son Jonathan is gonna pay the price, and he's gonna have the consequences for his actions. And I pray that God gets a hold of him, in jail. And there's a lot of redemptive stories that have come out of prison. That we have a prison ministry at our church, and we see amazing things happen with people in prison. Just how God just totally radically transforms their lives. And so. That's what's been going on. And again, it's if you ever thought the church world was clean and pretty, it's not. It's a place for broken people, and it's a hospital. Not a country club. So
just saw a story myself coming out of my hometown 100 years ago in Minnesota, where a pastor, a priest, has similar sort of situations that have had. Some very serious allegations and beyond. So I know what you're talking about there. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. Okay, way softer side of news. At the State House, sometimes the legislation from the outside, it looks like a bit of a shoulder shrugger. Do we need to have a state sandwich, in your estimation?
Well, it should be the pork chop, I think. I mean,
you think it should be the pork chop? Okay.
I listen. I think there's I don't want to waste a ton of time on it, but I do think there's value.
Don't waste a ton of time on this. It is intended just to be fun and fast.
No, but I do think there's value in having our identity as Hoosiers, right? We need to know, like, hey, what is our state sandwich? What's our state bird? What's the state rock? All these things solidify the identity of who we are as Hoosiers. So I think there's value to it, but let's not take hours of testimony over something like this. But who knows? Yeah.
From his church office in his Zoom room, that is Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor. He is not going to make a big deal yet on the breaded tenderloin notion. That is the official effort that's being made at the State House. I'm sure you're following that very closely.
I am. I just like the pork chop better.
Final item for you before we wrap up, and I know you need to get to the State House to do your work. Christmas wishes. The last time that we'll have a chance to talk officially on the radio and on the video before the Christmas season is concluded. If you would, talk to the state of Indiana with your wishes for them.
Yeah, well, thank you, Steve. Merry Christmas to you all, and Merry Christmas to the state of Indiana. I mean, let's remember this season is, focus on the reason for the season. God gave us the greatest gift that He could give, which was Himself through His Son Jesus, and He sacrificed. He stepped down into our brokenness, and the world's a broken place. If you feel broken today, you're not alone. There is a God who loves you. He doesn't reject you because of your brokenness. He comes and He extends His hand to you in your brokenness, and He brings you out of it. And that's what Christmas is all about. It really is the greatest season of the year, because it reminds us that there is a Creator who loves us, and that He has a plan for every single person, and He loves every single person. And the identity that He has for us is to bring us out of brokenness. We give Him our ashes, and He gives us beauty in return. And so He gives us beauty for ashes, and that's the story of Christmas. And so, go and celebrate that with your family. Pull your loved ones around, and let's remember the reason for the season.
Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor, great state of Indiana. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for doing this and your willingness to have open conversations about really anything that I want to talk about. I very much appreciate that, and I know our listeners do as well.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Always good to be on with you.
All right. That's the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Indiana, Micah Beckwith, as we continue moving through our morning. This is called Delaware County Today, and we are on WMUN. Okay. Leslie, I think that went well. Talking to Leslie, by the way, on the camera here. You're seeing me talk behind the scenes. I'm going to make my switches. Could you please, Chuck, have a seat in one of those chairs and get comfortable for just a moment? I'll explain what's going on momentarily. Chuck Reynolds is my next guest. He has arrived in the back of the video room. He's not seen this yet. So we'll give him the tour in just a moment. First of all, I have some other clicks I have to do in all these computers. The last time I saw Chuck Reynolds was Sunday at the Sing. I'm sure we'll talk about that. I'm not sure they're going to want to ask me back. That'll come up during the interview, I'm sure. As I continue to yak here, again, this is behind the scenes, as Leslie Griffin is in the Axia Command Center right now, running all of the equipment. I am in our brand new video, audio, multipurpose studio. We'll bring Chuck Reynolds up here in a moment. We have to do some other business first, on the radio, that is. And as we do that, we'll bring Chuck up. And did I just say up, Chuck? No, I said Chuck up. Okay, good. And about 7 minutes from now, live radio, trying to stay on time, I will bring him in, and you will be able to see and interact. My computer screen, for some reason, is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Waiting for the host to start the meeting. I thought I did that. All right, I'll come back to that. Anyway. Now, closed circuit for Leslie Griffin in the Axia Command Center. We're going to go local news summary. I'll intro that, Leslie, and I'll let you have that take us to break 2, and then we'll have Chuck Reynolds on out here in the video studio right after that, okay? And I will click on many buttons over here. I wish you could all see this, folks. Hot mic. Well, this is ironical. Just made up a word, Columbia. is listening right now. That's a new listener. Hold on, let me see. It's not Bogota. It is Medellin. Perhaps Chuck Reynolds, the educated one, can tell me how to pronounce that when he gets up here in a couple of minutes. Let's get our local news summary on now. WMUN. Now we have what we call hot mics, but they're not on the air. We're just talking amongst ourselves and to the video. We have a 4-camera system in here. Lots of buttons that I don't know how to run. I'm still trying to figure it out. In fact, I'm going to click on auto switch right now. So when auto switch is enabled, the camera will switch to whomever is speaking.
That's scary.
So it just zoomed in on you because you said that's scary. As we are out here in this studio in a live mode, Leslie is running audio and features and so on from the Axia studio. You've seen her through the glass a million times.
Right.
And when our microphones are enabled out here and we are recording or YouTube live video too, we will have that ability. They'll be able to hear this when they replay the audio or the video later. When we're on the air, I'll make sure you know that so you don't tell any secrets. But the secrets would be out there right now if you were to share something that you didn't want out there. Before we're on the air in a couple of minutes, is there anything you would like to lead me with topic-wise to cover? There was a board meeting yesterday, yes?
Had a board meeting yesterday. Really wrapped up our financials. We had a presentation from Northview. Wrapped up our financials. Talked about the next bond project that we're getting underway.
Okay. We'll review the SING, and I'll tell you what I thought. You can either invite me for next year or disinvite me, whatever is most appropriate. Aside from the board meeting highlights, anything else that's topic-wise to cover today?
No, I don't think so. We're going to talk about that. I would like to talk about Chris Walker getting recognized for the excellence in education at the chamber dinner.
Yep.
Is he coming in this month yet?
I think he already has, and I think it was just like a day or two after. It was a day or two after the chamber dinner, so I was able to congratulate him face to face.
Oh, okay.
And our listeners did hear a little bit about that.
Okay.
But
no, that's okay. We
give more
certainly
accolades, and rightly so.
Did he talk about Mrs. Hoffman being recognized?
Doesn't sound familiar. Why don't you
through Ivy Tech?
Why don't you go there?
Okay.
I'll just put a Hoffman reminder here. For those watching on the video, what I'm doing is I'm making notes so I know what I'm talking about with the guest behind the scenes. How about the school calendar as far as holiday break and whatever? How many days do we have left and so on before we're
Yep, we can do that. Yep.
Okay.
So we're out December 19th.
Okay. And is next year's calendar done and out? I haven't paid
Yes.
closely attention. It's
Yep,
okay.
it's out.
And I don't know if you're able to comment publicly yet. Just yesterday, I believe, I received first word of the marching band season announcement as far as dates and locations. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about that or if you know anything about that sort of subject.
Maybe a little.
And I think we have plenty, if that's okay for you.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great.
I'm going to take your mic off and leave mine on. We still have that listener in Colombia. What is that? Hold on a second. I'm gonna ask you to please pronounce this.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Dr. Reynolds, Medellin. Nothing?
Meddling. I think you're just meddling, Steve.
Are you just making that up, or is that the truth?
No, I'm making that up.
Well, I trust you.
Don't trust me with pronunciations. That's for sure. Meddling. Yeah, it's just a little meddling.
I don't know how to do this. So this is me trying to manipulate our Zoom guest, which is after you, which is actually something that happened at your high school yesterday. The Pacer Foundation people were there with a toy giveaway.
Oh, terrific.
Let's go here. Leslie, I just saw that note you just sent. I will bring him down just a little bit if that's what your intent was. Talking behind the scenes. Okay, Leslie, hot mic. Portland, Oregon listening, as is Minnesota. I see Mama and Roger now dialed in on the Alexa devices. They all want to hear what's going on with the Muncie Community Schools. We have the, nope, not bow-tied wonder. He is certainly looking snazzy as always. Dr. Chuck Reynolds, the Meister of the trombone and so much more. Dr. Reynolds, how are you? And good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Steve. Good morning. It's great to be here again, and then this palatial new studio. Wow, this is fantastic.
We haven't sold the naming rights to it yet. Would you be interested in looking into the fees that would be as a custom with that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, are we talking Muncie Schools or the Chuck Reynolds studio?
I was thinking Chuck Reynolds. Yeah. Legacy. Come on. Hey, what do you want?
I'm sure it's a nominal fee.
Make sure that mic is right up to your chin as we get used to
Gotcha.
all the technology in here. Dr. Reynolds was seen by yours truly just this past Sunday for a long period of time with a very petable jacket. Could you please explain that for our listeners? You did not wear it today.
I did not wear it today. I had a very nice green velvet jacket on last.
Crushed velour, I thought it was.
Velvet jacket for the community sing. Just had a wonderful time. Appreciate all of your talents. I mean, it's kind of like live TV, so you had to stall a couple times for our transitions, but we just really so proud of the kids and their performances that day.
How about the trombone group? Look at you and the rest of your people there.
I think we had 15 or 16 trombone players across the high school kids that play trombone, and then all the adults across the district that play trombone. I mean, it's just kind of it just tells you how smart the staff at MCS is. There's so many trombone players.
Well, trombone it takes more than others. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, typically. Yeah.
Are you calling tubas not so much, or what are you saying there?
No, just the brain power of trombone players. I won't.
He's getting himself into trouble here. Dr. Chuck Reynolds from the Muncie Community Schools. You had a Board of Trustees meeting just last night. I understand you heard from Northview.
Yeah, that's right. So we had a meeting last night. Northview Elementary School presented, and just so proud of the work that they're doing there. Had terrific results in testing, but they're way more than that. They talked about all the programmings that they do, that they offer kids to keep them engaged and keep them active in the school community. Last year they started a school-wide musical in the spring. They did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and this year they're doing Finding Nemo. I mean, it's a K through 5 endeavor. It's just another exciting opportunity for our kids to stay active.
Opportunities is such a word that has so many different meanings, but you really live that at MCS, don't you? To get the students and the staff opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Students need to be engaged, and the data that we collect show that the students that are engaged in one or more activities outside of the regular academic classrooms, they have better attendance and fewer tardies and less discipline issues, better achievement scores on your standardized tests, everything when they're just more active in the school community.
Chuck Reynolds is our guest on WMUN's Delaware County Today. Also at the board meeting last night, I believe he covered financials and a bond situation. What's the updates on those two particular items?
Yeah, so Mr. Jerome is our chief financial officer and just does a tremendous job for us, keeping us on track on our spending and being sure that we don't overspend. So we're right on track for the calendar year that we're wrapping up right now. And the bond projects, we also talked about those last night. So we've sold the bonds, we've collected those funds. Now we're out for bids to start work on the field house as the first project, where we're going to finish the heating and cooling. We've done some of the electrical and plumbing already to prepare for that, but heating and cooling will start that work this spring, and then we'll start roof projects across the district. We'll probably take bids on those in February, but that latest bond project is rolling right along.
All right, very good. Chuck Reynolds is the leader of the Muncie Community Schools. A lot of fine educators and fine staff members, but some of them get singled out from time to time, and I know it's an honor. We had Principal Walker in this same video room just a couple of days after the Chamber of Commerce had a nice accolade for him.
Yeah, just the Chamber recognizing Mr. Walker for his leadership and the progress they've made at Central over the 10 years of his leadership has just been tremendous. Recognized him with the Excellence in Education Award. Very, very humble about it. He doesn't like talking about it too much. He of course passes on those accolades to his team, but just a great honor for him and the school district. Also, we recognize Mrs. Hoffman. Mrs. Hoffman is a math and a physics teacher, mostly dual credit classes at Muncie Central, was recognized with the President's Award from Ivy Tech for being the Outstanding Dual Credit Educator of the Year award. One of 19 across the state of Indiana.
This is WMUN's Delaware County Today. Something happened at Muncie Central High School yesterday late afternoon, and we will have a guest in about 7 minutes to talk about that. It was a toy giveaway that the Pacers, the basketball foundation, did at Central High School. I'm going to wait for our guest to talk about that in about 7 or 8 minutes from now, firsthand, doing nice stuff for kids there. It happened to occur at Muncie Central High School. Holiday break, what's happening? How close are you to getting the staff and the students a little break for the Christmas time?
Yeah, we're getting close. So we usually have some spirit weeks leading up to that last week of school. So students' last day will be Friday, December 19th. They'll have a couple of weeks off, and then they will return Tuesday, January 6th to the buildings.
Do you ever go away from the buildings yourself? Do you get a break? Do the other admin people actually get a minute?
Yes, yeah. So Mr. Walker, and he's on what we call a 12-month contract, so he'll take some vacation days. He will be in the building a lot, much like myself and the district, the other district leadership team. The buildings, they will be closed down for those 2 weeks. So those principals and office staff that are in the building, they'll be out and enjoying their families and their time off during those breaks.
Delaware County Today, daily live on WMUN, the talk radio of Muncie. Chuck Reynolds is my guest. I don't know if you realize, viewers and listeners, Dr. Reynolds has some knowledge base with respect to marching band and greatness, etc. Is that safe to say so far?
Well, I have some knowledge on marching.
He has a lot of knowledge. And I just saw, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, that the schedule, I tried to say, has come out for summer band season. How does that feel?
Man, does it get any better? This Christmas and holiday season, and now we're talking about marching band. It's exciting. It's hard to believe that those conversations are being had already for the schedule, but it takes a lot of time to prepare for the events themselves. And I can tell you that Muncie Central, they started the conversations back in September and October about the program for next summer. So plans are well underway, and before we know it, we'll be on the asphalt marching away.
And it'll be 150 degrees every day they're doing their practices. It seems to always work out that way. Final words today, if I could. We're headed towards Christmas, and maybe holiday and New Year's wishes from you to all the MCS people that are listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Just a time for you to reflect and have a little peace and love and family in your life. Just take time to celebrate and enjoy a little break from the school setting.
Chuck, always good to see you. Dr. Reynolds, I should say.
Thank you, Steve.
And
good to see you.
We look forward to seeing you back here in the video room again in about a month.
Absolutely. I feel really special being in this place with you. I mean, it is fantastic.
Well, you're special even when you're just in our regular studios across the way. Chuck Reynolds, our guest. This is WMUN's Delaware County Today. More coming through the hour. We'll return in just a moment on WMUN. And Mike is hot to the video, and Leslie Griffin, producer in the Axia Command Center. What we got here? Clock scooting around away from me just a little bit. There we go. And Leslie, closed circuit for you. After we get done with the program today live, I've got more work to do out here off air, but I'm going to come into the main building there with you, have a post-show meeting, just looking at schedule and things for the next several days and down the road, if that's okay with you. Our video watchers right now are wondering, ooh, post-show meeting, what's that all about? I'm watching the Zoom room, no connection yet with our next guest, but we'll go floater list right now. Hot mic. Thank you, Tom Campbell, voice of WMUN. Hold on a second. He'll be introducing some ball games soon. Let me look at that. Hold on. I got so many pieces of paper. Oh, here we go. Let's see. It is the 10th of December, so we got Purdue basketball on Oldies 101. 6 o'clock is the airtime for today. The Ball State women will land here on WMUN. 8:30 is the airtime on that one. And then on December 12th, here on WMUN, boys basketball, Yorktown is at Delta. And on the 13th, Purdue basketball is on our Oldies 101 in Anderson-Madison County. The call letters are WHBU. That same night, the December 13th night, University is at Liberty Christian high school basketball. And that same day, December 13th, Westdell is at Monroe Central, right here on WMUN. I'm Steve Lindell. It's 8:45. We're moments away, hopefully, from connection with our next guest. I'm going to literally check while I'm clicking on here. Stand by. Here we go, viewing, and we go admit, and I think it's going to work out just fine right now. Yeah, I see who I need to see, and we are on the radio now live. And I think I have Melissa Criswell. Am I correct?
Yes, you do.
Hello. How are you? And thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Steve.
The Deputy Chief of Muncie Police Department, kind enough to join us here on WMUN. I'm getting some feedback. I think that might be on my end, or it might be yours. But what I wanted to hear from you, Melissa, is last night's event at Muncie Central High School. It was toy-related, and I want you to give us the backstories of what the Pacer Foundation did that was so nice for kids in Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah, so the Pacers had reached out to our police department, and they wanted to see about working with us to bring several toys that we were able to set up an event to do a big giveaway. And then they came down, a couple of the Pacemates, both Freddie and Boomer were there to help facilitate that event. So they brought several pallets of toys about a week ago. We sorted through those and then transferred all those to Muncie Central High School gym last night and had an awesome event there.
That's very nice. I'm looking at the notes here. It looks like there was Jack's Pacific Toys, I think. The CEO might have been involved with this. And this has happened before, too, I think, in Muncie, in previous Christmas times. This isn't the first time they've done it. Is that accurate, Melissa?
That's correct. I was trying to remember how long ago. I was guessing maybe around 10 years ago, but I do remember them donating toys before, since I've been on the police department.
It's a statewide effort. Very nice, especially around Christmas time. Were any of the kids there, or did you see any smiling faces, or is that not how it works at the presentation that happened yesterday?
Oh, yeah. We had over 300 children there, so they would come in. There was the little presentation. Boomer and Freddie did some of their antics and took some photos with the kids. If you check on social media, you're going to see some of those really cute photos. And then after that, we had the kids go around, kind of check out all the tables with the toys. They got to pick out a certain number each. And then after that, they were kind of free to hang out, socialize with Freddie and Boomer and the Pacemates. But yeah, there were a lot of smiling faces there. Mayor Ridenhour's there. We had people from several different organizations, the prosecutor's office, DCS. We had Ball State football athletes were there. We also had Kappa Delta there helping us. Trying to see who else I'm forgetting. Some youth volunteers from Central. Yeah, it was awesome. We had 2 box trucks full of toys. So we needed a lot of helpers to unload all of that. So we had a lot of our officers helping, and then some of the students from Central were still there before school let out, and they helped us carry all those in too.
Well, thank you very much for the quick jump on the radio with us. I know you're busy. I know you love doing what you do behind the scenes as well as on the front lines. Thank you for your service, Melissa Criswell. Merry Christmas to you and everybody on the MPD.
You too. Thank you, Stephen. Real quick, Family Resource Center was a huge contribution to that also.
Okay, great. Excellent. Thanks for that. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Melissa Criswell, outstanding for her to join us, the Deputy Chief of the Muncie Police Department, who was there last night at that event with the Pacers Foundation. I found the date. They've been doing this since 2009. Big Toy Giveaway is what it's called. Fueled by the generosity of Stephen Berman, founder and CEO of Jack's Pacific Toys, and his long-standing friendship with Herb Simon, owner of the Pacer Sports and Entertainment. Statewide effort delivered hundreds of thousands of toys to Hoosier kids through a network of more than 100 community partners. That all information coming from the Pacers Foundation for our purposes this morning on WMUN. Very nice. There's a lot of great people and great things happening in our world, and we're so pleased when we get to focus on a lot of those things. If we ever miss something, by the way, my phrase is you tell us and we'll tell everybody. We use our voice to build and connect our communities on WMUN. My name is Steve Lindell. We have a host of awesome people behind the scenes and on the front lines, and we're only as good as the information that we have, so make certain that we have that information. The connections are vast and varied. You can send us an email with little news nuggets or questions, whatever. That is WMUN@woofboom.com, WMUN@woofboom.com. You can also leave us a voicemail message. That's 289-NEWS, 289-6397. And then there's the social media, the Facebook Messenger, and all the other sorts of ways you can connect with us. If you see it at the grocery store, you can stop us and let us know what we need to know, or say something nice. Compliments are welcome too. Hey, before we get to the end of the hour, we always like to give you a little snapshot of your day. Let's do that now. Okay, hot mic. On WMUN, for the video watchers, you get the whole audio picture on 92.5 FM, 1340 AM. The streams, the Alexa command is play, WMUN. Final item for this morning, to the north we go. We'll go hot mic. Thank you, Janice. Great to hear your great stories of wonderful people and good, happy endings so often at the end of our program. Hello, Mama in Minnesota. If I missed saying hello, I want to make sure that you get the accolades Roger is likely listening to. Is it snowing there in the Minnesota area? I don't know. I think you've got a white Christmas plan. All right, that'll do it for Leslie Griffin in the Axia Command Center, my producer. I'm Steve Lindell. Back again tomorrow morning and every weekday, 8 to 9 a.m. live in Muncie, Indiana, USA. This is WMUN.